So, welcome back to JJ Detailing. We are at the new studio, which I don't think any of you actually know about unless you follow my social media. So, early February, April time, we had the opportunity of actually moving to a new studio, brand new building, very bespoke area, very, very bespoke unit, ready for everything we wanted to do in it. And we will do a unit tour at some point. I'll give you a little glimpse behind. But I'll give you a full rundown of everything that's been happening and kind of what's been happening with the business, what's been happening with me, what's been happening with the cars, so on, so on, so on. At the moment, we are working on a MGTF, I can't remember the exact spec, but it is flat gloss black paint, so I'm assuming it's going to be super, super soft. It also is one owner, 12,000 miles from new. So originality, quality condition, very, very straight throughout. There's no dents, no major scratches. There's covered in swells, covered in haze, because I'm assuming it's soft paint. Haven't done any test panels yet. It's just had the wash and decontamination process, just finished the clay bar process, as you've just seen. So we will be going through the inspection, finding out what condition it is, and then trial basing what pad combinations and polishing techniques we need to achieve the best results. It is booked for a 2-stage course, like a minor corrections or a cutting pass, refining pass, and just trying to chase out as much as possible, leave as much paint there to play with and try and restore the finish, restore the gloss, restore the clarity. So first up, let's grab a torch and find out what we're looking at. So let's try and grab some focus, but we are dealing with a whole field of mess. No metallic, no flake at all, just straight flat black paintwork. But I reckon this is gonna take a fair bit, but then I also reckon 1 or 2 cutting passes should really, really transform it. It's just covered in haze, swirls. There are some deeper marks here and there. A few things you have to be wary about, like that long scratch that pretty much runs from here all the way down to here. You can just see that just above the light, long scratch. So it's things like that we're going to try and chase out and minimise and restore as much back to it as we can. It's also not on the ramp at the moment. The E36, which is a little project that I'm working on, that is on the ramp at the moment. As you see, it's quite low. But I will be switching these round at some point. Take the wheels off, full wheels and arch treatments, the brake calipers. It's having the paint work done, 2-layer ceramic coat on the paint, glass, and interior tidy up. But overall, it's mainly trying to restore this finish. But yeah, lots to work on. But looking forward to it. And also, whoever put that much tape behind on plate, thanks for that. But yeah, smart look in the car. I reckon it's going to be a nice little detail. Let's get cracking. So, a little update on the MG. Cutting is still progressing through, working on the bonnet. Just doing a comparison to the two panels. It's incredibly bad paint. To say it's only got 12,000 miles on it, it's very, very scratched up. And the problem with it is, like out there, that massive circle, just, if I can get it around here, that is just a deep scratch. So taking that out is proving quite difficult. And the problem is it's very, very soft paintwork. So it's incredibly delicate to do any kind of machine polishing too. One, that's a good thing because it's meaning you can knock out a lot of swirls in one pass, but it's leaving a lot of haze behind. As if we go to this panel, which we've just done one cutting pass, great, all the swirls and scratches seem to be removed, but a silly amount of haze. If I get some focus, a lot of haze there. So this definitely needs a medium polish or a refining stage afterwards. You won't be able to let that go away without it, but at least we're removing a lot of this mess, which is a shame really, because it's a very, very good example, but I'm hoping once this process is done, it's going to look absolutely amazing. But yeah, working my way down the driver's side, passenger side now. Driver's side's pretty much cut. Most of the bonnet's cut. A few little niggly bits around the washer jets. Front bumper is cut. Just doing this flat surface here, and then I'll move down the driver's side. I keep saying driver's side is the passenger side, but even with this angle here, you can see just the amount of swirls that are poking out. And it is, again, flat gloss black, super soft, super delicate paint. But we're getting there, making progress. And then next up will be taking the wheels. I've got to give them another clean because the insides have got a few little stubborn bits on them. Again, and sort the arches out. And then it's glass coatings, paint, glass, wheels, brakes, and obviously all the little trimmings and everything else as well. But yeah, taking shape. Pretty happy with it. It's just been a bit of a tedious job, taking a lot longer to cut, more so because it's so soft and so delicate. I'm trying to reduce the haze down, so when it comes to refining stage, it's not as bad, but it's a tricky one. Like the bumpers, for instance. Bumpers, I think, may have been painted, hard to tell, but they cut better than the paintwork. They were harder to cut, so harder material, and the swirls and the defects came out, but it left way less haze behind than it is on the metal panels. So I'm thinking, because it's metal, plastic, I'm thinking plastic is always going to respond differently, but it seems like the plastic on here seems to be a lot harder than the actual painted panels. But there's still some really stubborn scratches in there, but a massive improvement so far. I'm actually really looking forward to how this is going to come out. But yeah, keep cracking. So just working on this rear quarter, just done one cut and it's way better, but you can see obviously deeper line there. I can get some focus. Then I'm going to try and chase that out. But also around this fuel cap, very heavy scratches. Not sure what's caused it because it fades out. So this is quite clear now. Yes, it needs refining, but it gets very heavy towards the actual fuel cap. The only thing I can think of is just hands clawing at it, your fuel cap. But I mean, this is one that kind of, the whole thing comes out, so quite a bit difficult to say what's caused it, but it is incredibly tore up. But what I'm going to do is kind of done 3" up here. I've got to do a little 1" in the corner just because you can actually see where it's not fully. Get some focus. Well, you can't really see it there, but in this top corner I can't fully get it with a 3". So 3", a little bit of a 1" on the edge, 3" down the side, 3" above the vent, and then most of this is, you can 5" most of this, but really 3" is a bit tighter, a bit better, and most of this will be a 3" as well. But what I'm gonna have to do is round the fuel caps, probably use a little 1" on the hybrid and just try and dig out these scratches and see if I can try and remove as much as possible. But once this is cut, rear bumper and the boot lid, it's pretty much ready for refining, and it is coming along quite nicely. Being flat black as well, it's going to look like an absolute mirror, but still lots to remove. It's time to sort this bad boy out. Sort the tips out a little bit. See if we can make this a little bit prettier. Oh, vloggy. Ah, selfie. Can't even see myself. Right, so update on the MG. It's been a nightmare. Super soft paint, incredibly delicate, incredibly soft through. It's like polishing butter, as I've been saying all week. Behind me is now refined. It's finished. First layer of ceramic coating is down. We're doing a top coat a little bit later on. Got to do all the niggly bits, all the around the vents, around the edges. Wheels have been ceramic coated, just been put back on the car. Exhaust has been polished up as much as possible. Glass is all coated, so now it's literally finishing touches, and then it'll be ready for collection. So as we can see, it is looking a lot clearer compared to what it was. And this is flat gloss black, so there's no metallic in this paint at all. And when I mean soft, I mean incredibly soft. So I'm gonna have to tell the customer to be mindful. Yes, the ceramic coating will add some hardiness to it, but it's not gonna make it indestructible. But pretty happy with the results. There's a few areas that we couldn't fully remove any defects, but the clarity and the gloss and the overall finish of it is looking pretty special. Still need to remove number plate tape, that's been a bit of a nightmare. And just a few odd little bits. So yeah, let's crack on. And that is the MG complete, and I have to say probably one of the hardest details I've had. Just tricky business. Everything about it was just a bit of a nightmare. Paint being soft, old age car. Yes, it is low mileage, but just being a bit not. I went to the customer's not looked after it. He has looked after it very well, but the problem is that he wasn't aware that the condition of the paint was so soft. So maybe changing the routine, changing the methods of how to wash it from now on. But she is fully coated, ceramic coated 2-layer system. That is a new coating that I have been trialing out, and I'm quite impressed with it. It's super hard, super slick as well. Wheels coated, glass coated, and just general tied up with everything else. And now we're going to look at some after footage. But thanks again. I'll try and keep doing more photos. I will eventually do a unit tour of the whole new place. But yeah, keep well. Thanks a lot. Bye.